So we near now the end of our study in 2 Thessalonians. Presently, we come now to chapter 3, verses 16 and 17. Now may the Lord of peace himself give you peace at all times in every way. The Lord be with you all. I, Paul, write this greeting with my own hand. This is the sign of genuineness in every letter of mine. It is the way I write. The grace of our Lord Jesus be with you all. I'm sure that we all remember the story of the art instructor who gives the students the assignment to paint a portrait of peace, and how that various ones went through the process, attempting their rendition of what peace looked like. There were paintings of calm days. There were paintings of flowered meadows. But the teacher scratched through all of these, suggesting that there is a different element to peace. And so he takes a compilation of all these paintings, and there is this bird that is singing, and there is a stormy day, and the wind is blowing, and then of course in the middle of all this the bird continues to sing. And this then is the example of peace, that in the middle of the storm the bird could continue to sing. This is something of what Paul is saying in this text. After Paul dictated his exhortations, he is fully aware that his parishioners required enablement. That is to say, that he gives this instruction of who the church is to be and how it is to operate. But every time he understands that they need the power of God. And if we had time, we'd go back and look at verse 11 of chapter 1. We come then to the end of chapter 2. He does the same thing. And then, of course, at the top of chapter 3, when he makes a break there and moves now into this portion where we talk about this practical work ethic, each time he senses that he's given these instructions, but that the people of God cannot handle them on their own. What has to happen is there has to be a divine enablement. We cannot live this life without the help of Jesus Christ. Consequently, this empathetic pastor expressed a heartfelt desire. Paul desired for them an enduring peace, an evident truth, and an enabling grace. As we endeavor to live this Christian life and to walk worthy of the call in this world, we too can have enduring peace, evident truth, and enabling grace. In a world plagued with uncertainty, first of all, we can have an enduring peace. This world defines peace in terms of calm, tranquility, bliss, when it thinks in terms of ultimate outcomes. But all of these can be artificially manufactured. You can take drugs to get some peace. You can rest, take a nap to get some peace. You can find comfort in the exhortation of a friend, or you could simply drink your favorite cocktail. All of this can bring peace, but this kind of peace can be disrupted by the same things: taking drugs, a nightmare during your sleep, counsel from a friend, and it can be bad counsel, or too much of your favorite cocktail. And so, the very fact is, real peace comes from God. You might say it this way: the world's peace says that all is well between you and the world. But real peace says that all is well between you and God. And Paul says it this way, that the peace that Christ gives is a peace that is present at all times, in every way, with all of you. In a world plagued with uncertainty, we can also have an evident truth. Earlier in this letter, Paul confronted a forged letter. Commenting on the forgery, Paul instructed, "Let no one deceive you," verse 3, "either by a spirit or spoken word, or by letter seeming to come from us." Here in verse 16, Paul provided proof of the authenticity or evidence of what they are now receiving as a true word. Paul wrote in light of the fact of being used by God to dispense eternal truth. Consequently, he was concerned that they received nothing but that truth. We should exercise caution when hearing information. We must be sure that we are receiving the truth of the word, and not some fake imitation forged by some fraudulent prophet for profit. In a world plagued with uncertainty, we can also have an enabling grace. Paul wanted his congregants to have this enabling grace. We all receive unmerited favor at conversion, but God continues to give power for us to live out the Christian life. This is an enabling grace. It's undeserved. It is that force by which we live out the Christian life. God gives each of us the ability to do that which he has commanded us to do. In a very real sense, this peace that Paul speaks of precipitates both truth and grace. Again, the world sees peace when they feel as if they have peace with the world. But real peace is when we have peace with God at all times, every time, in every way, in every situation, with all of you, every one of you. Isn't that beautiful? That God has given us peace. Christ, the Prince of Peace, engages us personally with a present that enables power. What an awesome privilege. God gives us peace. Live well.